Good morning, all of you. Welcome back to the course on cryptography and system security. Hope I'm audible and the shared presentation screen is visible for you. Anyone can quickly acknowledge in the chat box whether the presentation screen is visible. Okay, thank you. So during our previous session, we have started discussing about the different types of hashing techniques, and we discussed about the different applications of hash functions, right? Then we discussed about MD5 algorithm, which was the basic hash functions or hashing technique through which we created a hash code that was used for an authentication purpose, right? So when we talk about the different parameters which are related with the MD5 algorithm, right? There are four steps which we perform. The first one is that padding bits. Why these padding bits? Before that, right, we need to divide the message into the block size of 512-bit block. So the entire plain text are divided into blocks where the number of bits present in each byte, sorry, each block is 512 bit. Suppose if the block length is not, or block size is not equal to 512, right, whatever the bit which is present in the particular block, if it is not equal to 512, then we need to do the padding bits. So this is an adding some extra bits so that the length of the bits which present the particular block which will equals to 512, then followed by we need to append the length. We need to represent the length of the bits or length of the plain text bits in a 64 bit. So here max to max, we here will pad 512 minus 64, which comes around 448. So 448 bits we can append, and followed by we need to initialize the vectors, initialization values, which has to be started, and we can decide, and then the value can be initialized. So here we'll use a 4 words or 4 register, which A, B, C, and followed by D. Each register will capable of storing 32-bit in size. So total, so 128. Now this whatever the value which is stored here in the initial vectors, right? And so that is going to be processed with the 512 bits block. So here we'll have our MD5 algorithm. So this will take a 512 bit block, and so here we'll have 128 bit initial vector values, and we'll be processing the MD5 algorithm. When we talk about the MD5 algorithm, so it has a 4 registers, right, which is A, B, C, D, A, B, C, and D. So we are going to do some operations with B, C, D, and the result which is going to be added with the value A, and followed by, so here the 512 bits which we have block, so again, so that is going to be divided into sub blocks. So this is 512-bit block. Now again, so that is going to be divided into 16 into 32 sub blocks, where in each round or each step the 32-bit word or sub block which will be passed as a plain text. So here we'll be doing some XOR operation with the 32-bit value which we received, and followed by the K value, so which is a temporary value or a K value which we will be having a 64 constant value, and finally we'll be getting a 32-bit value. So now this 32-bit value which are going to be swapped to the next value. So A value will come to B, and then B value will come to C, and C value will come to D, and D value will come to A. So by the way, this A, B, C, D. So this is a single step operations Likewise, we have 4 round functions in each round. So there will be a 16 steps. It can be named as anything F, G, H, I, and so 4 into 16 will, we need to process a 64 steps. What are the output we are going to get at the end of 64 step? So that will be our 128 bit. All the values which are stored in the ABCD registered, which are 128 bit intermediate hash code value. So this is of the first 512 bit block. Likewise, this process has to be repeated for as many 512 bits block we have. And after processing all the 512 bits blocks, whatever the output we are getting, that is 128 bit. So that will be our hash code value. I hope this is clear. This is a quick recap of MD5 algorithm. Any queries regarding this MD5 algorithm? I just no recapped, or I could revise, because this is the base for all the SHA or all the hash functions. Any queries regarding this MD5 algorithm? What I just recapped or revised? If you have any queries, quickly you can write in the chat box. Okay, thank you for your acknowledgement. And so after that, we discussed about the SHA algorithm, the fundamental concepts to the SH algorithm, which is similar with the hash functions or MDF algorithm, right? But so here there are certain parameter which changes, right? So that I'll explain it. So these are the parameters which is associated with SH algorithm. Yes, Rahil Akhtar, any queries? Rahil Akhtar, any queries? Be very cautious, right? So here, when you talk about the SHA algorithm, this whatever the parameter which I'm explaining, which is respect to SHA1 algorithm, SHA1, right? So here it is a 160 bit. So how many register we need to have? We need to have 5 register: A, B, C, D, E. So each will store 32 bit value. So 32. So here 32. So this will store 32 bit. So this will store, so 32 bit value. So total, which will becomes 160 bit initial values, initial vector value, right? And then the input text block size, which will be 512, again sub block, which is 32 bit. So total sub blocks which we are getting from the plain text, which is 16. Just hold on. Okay, I was explaining about the total number of rounds. So here also we are going to process 4 rounds, but in each round we will be performing 20 iterations, or we could say that 20 steps. So total 4 into 20 will get 80 steps. Okay, so similar to the MDF algorithm where we add a 64 constant, so here we have 80 constant, right? So each and every step we will be passing the constant value. At the end, whatever the output we are getting, this actually this is 5 32 bit blocks, right? Which will get 160 hash code value. Okay, so the logic I explained for the MD5, which is same for this SHA1 algorithm. The first thing is that padding bits, right? Before that, we need to divide into the blocks, right? Again, append padding bits, which is a 64-bit, and then, so this is what I explained in the first step. Divide the input into 512-bit blocks, and then chain values, which is initialization vectors A, B, C, D, E, right? So this is the order. So this is not a specific one, but the user can define by the own initial vector values, which can be at any order, right? There is no such kind of restriction. It has to be followed in the specific order, and followed by whatever the information which I explained for MD5 algorithm, right? So there are only few changes, right? The 5, here we have the 5 initial vectors. So 5 into 32 will get 160, right? And then we are dividing the entire plain text into 16 sub blocks, right, where which will be equal to 32 bit in size, and then 4 round functions, 20 bits values, right? Sorry, 20 steps, right? And the constant value, just now I explained with the diagram. Right now, this is the detailed working of the SHA1 algorithm. So here we have the 4 round functions, right? You can, as I mentioned in the MD5 explanation, you can use any variable for the function f1, f2, f3, f4, but each round function will accept 5 values, 5 register value which are stored in the A, B, C, D, E respectively, and followed by a 512-bit block. And so here we'll be dividing the 512-bit block into sub blocks, and followed by, so in each every iteration, so we have 20 iterations to be performed, but when we divide this 512 bits, we'll get only the 16 words, or 16 into 32, correct? So, and we need to create, or we need to manipulate some additional words or additional bits, so that we'll get 20 words. So that where you'll be passing one word or 1 into 32 bit. This 32 bit can be called as a one word, I could say that, right? I repeat, 4 into 8 byte, which is 32. This 32-bit value can be called as a word. Okay, now followed by, so whatever the output we are getting at the end of 20th round, so again, so that will be forwarded to the next round function, which is f. So when we talk about this f1, f2, f3, f4, or logical operations to be performed with the values which we stored in the registers A, B, C, D, E. Depends upon what register we are going to use for further operation, the logical function which will be decided, and the operations are carried out. Okay. So similarly, this has to be repeated for 80 times, and finally we'll be getting the output. So that will be our the chain vector values, which is q plus 1. So this will be processed to the forwarded to the next round function, sorry, next block. When you talk about the detailed operation which is performed in each round or each step, I could say, so this is the detailed operation. So values are stored in the ABCDE registers, and so we are going to use only the values which is stored in the BCD register, and we are going to perform some logical operation, and we'll be getting the 32-bit output. Now this 32-bit output, which is going to be appended or added with the value which is stored here in the E register 32, right? So here we'll get 32. Now this will produce a 32-bit output. And similarly, whatever the value we stored in the register A, so that is going to be applied to the cyclic left shift. And so this is permutation. as we know, this SHA operation, which involves substitution as well as the permutation operations, right? So this is a permutation operation which uses a cyclic left shift operation, and whatever the output which produces. So here this 32 bit again, so that is going to be added with the results whatever we calculated after this step. So now this will produce 32 bit, and so here this 32 bit will be our word. I was explaining about a block of 512-bit plain text again. So this is going to be divided into sub blocks where 32-bit in each. So we'll get 16 word out of that for every step, and we'll be passing one word which is a 32-bit in size. So here we'll get 32. So this is 32-bit. Now this is 32-bit. So here we'll get 32-bit output. And next, whatever the output we are going to get, so here we are going to have a key value which is again, so this is a constant value for this step. Similarly, we'll have 80 constant value where each constant value will be used for each step. And whatever the output we are getting here, that is 32 bit, so that 32 bit value which is going to be swapped to the register A, and similarly the value of register A will come to the register B, and whatever the value which we stored in the register B, so that is going to be applied to this again one more permutation which is cyclic left shift with respect to 30 bits, right? This the number which is superscript represent that the number of bits which has to be shifted left. I hope this is clear. So here whatever the value which we stored in the register B, so that is applied to the permutation operation which is circular left shift with respect to 30 bits, and whatever the output we are getting here, that will be a 32 bit, that the cyclic left shifted output that is going to be stored in the register C, and C value will be stored in D, and D value will be stored in E, and then whatever the output we are getting after processing all these steps, so that will come back to A. So this entire operation has to be processed repeated for 80 times for one sub block of or one block of input value which is 512 in size. So this has to be repeated as many 512 bit block plain text we have. Okay, so I was explaining about, so if the 512 bits are divided into sub blocks where each sub block is 32 bit, so here we will be getting only a 16 words or 16 sub blocks, but here we need to process 20 steps where there is a shortage of 4 words or 4 into 32 bits. Now how this has to be produced again, so that we discussed in the last session also, I raised a query. So this is again this slides which gives the notation representation what I explained with the help of the diagram, right? The same the content which I've given in the with the notated expressions. Okay, and so these are the list of round operations. I was explaining about this round one, so which consists of this logical operations performed on the values stored in the BCD register. BCD register, right? So this is for round 1 logical operation, round 2 logical operation, round 3 logical operation, round 4 logical operation. Each round which has to be repeated for 20 times, 20 times, 20 times. So 20 times, so it will be for 80 times in accumulation. Now this is what the diagram or concept of which I wanted to explain, right? Which are shortage of 4 words, right? So now the 4 words which has to be created or manipulated based on the words which we have, right? So we had a 64 words from the plain text, right? So from the 64 plain text, right? So we'll take the first 16 out of these 16 words, and we'll take the word 2, word 0, word 2, word 8, and word 13. So all these four words, which is 32 bit and this 32 bit again. So all these four values which are applied to the XOR operation, and we'll get a 32 bit value. Now this 32 bit value which are applied to the circular left shift operation, so that will becomes the word. Okay. So here when we talk about this 0 to 15, here I explained with no 16 block, right? The 16 words which we if we take it from 0 to 15, right? Every after 16 words we'll be generating a word which is based on this the previous 15 words. I hope this is clear. Any queries regarding the part which I'm explaining now? I would like to explain, if the 512 bits are divided into 32 sub blocks, 32 bit sub blocks, where we'll get 16 sub blocks. So let's assume which is a sub block 0, 1, 2 till sub block 15. Once if the sub block is created, right, now based on this sub block or based on these words, right, I'll select this word 0, word 2, and then word 8, and then word 13, and then I'll be performing an XOR operation, and I'll be getting a 32 bit value, and whatever the value which I calculated here, and so that will be circular left shifted with 1 bit, and I'll be getting a word which is 32 bit in size. Similarly, we can select the words randomly or based on any formula which can be defined by the users, and they can produce additional words. So based on these structures, you can take any of the four words and we'll apply to the XOR operation, and we'll get a 32 bit word. By the way, from 16 words, and we are generating or we are creating four extra words, so that 16 plus 4 will get 20 words, where each word will be passed to the one step operation. Why we need to create this XOR bits, why we need to create a extra bits? So what will happen, even if there is a small bit value changes, automatically we will get or will get a complete hash code value through the avalanche effect, which we discussed in the previous sessions. Okay, any query regarding this explanation part? So I'll explain this, the difference between SHA algorithm as well as MD5 algorithm with the table. Now this is the quick comparisons between this SHA algorithm as well as MD5 algorithm, right? So when we talk about the digest length, so here this is the digest, which we can call it as a message digest or hash code. Message digest and hash code, which gives the same meaning, right, which is the size is here, which is 128 bit, here 160 bits, again the basic unit of processing again. So this is plain text input block size, okay, which is going to be common for both MD5 as well as SH algorithm, which is 512 bit in size. Here the number of steps, so here 60 total of 64 steps, 4 round function, each round function which has to be iterated or repeated for 16 times. So 4 into 16 will get 64. Similarly, when we talk about SHA1 algorithm, which is 4 round functions, each round function which has to be iterated for 20 times. So 4 into 20 will get 80 steps, right? Again, maximum message size again. So it is, there is no restriction. So here we'll have 2 power 64 bit minus 1, and the primitive logical functions again, which is 4 and 4. Again, constant value here, additive constant value which we use here, it's a 64. So here which is to be 80, I suppose, right? Again end n, again little end n, and then big end n. How the values are going to be stored in the register values, right? So these are the certain basic differences between MD5 algorithm as well as SHA1 algorithm. Any queries regarding the differences or quick comparison between MD5 algorithm as well as SHA algorithm? Okay, once if you are clear with this, the core concepts of MD5 as well as SHA algorithm, and you can modify, you can you can understand easily about all other different I could say that a different SHA algorithm, which is 512 bits, right? So depends upon the algorithm what we use, SHA1 or SHA256 or SHA512. So here, one second, just give me a second. Here again, so these are the different versions of SHA1. I explained about this complete steps of SHA1. When you talk about SHA256, 384, and then 512, mostly used SHA versions will be SHA1 or SHA512, right? So depends upon the output, right? Here the register value which are going to vary. So here SHA 256 again, which will produce again message digest will be 256. Whatever the name which is comes, whatever the value which comes after SHA, so that will be the hash code size. 256 will be the 256 bit hash code. 384 is the 384 bit hash code. Again, this 512 is the 512 bit hash code produced using this algorithm. By the way, it is called SHA 512, right? I'll quickly explain about the parameters, right? So here it will be 512 bit hash code will be produced when we use SHA 512. Again, so 1024 block size. So here the first two versions which uses 512 bit. So here we'll be taking 1024 bit block. Again, the word size which is double than the SHA1, which is 64. Again, the number of iteration which is uh, 8, and then so here. So by the way, so these are the parameters with respect to the different versions, right? SHA 512 is not a part of your syllabus, though it is not a part of syllabus. Quickly I can explain, you can understand the logic, right? So this is very similar with the SHA1 algorithm. There are different registers, right? Because where we are going to have the different values, which is 1024 accordingly. How many register we have? A, B, C, D, and 8 registers, 8 into 32-bit value which are going to be stored, and then so we can perform as many C. So here we'll be using a separate logical function with the 3 registers, and then here we are using a separate logical functions for the value which are stored in the 3 registers, right? Again, so the list of operation, again whatever the value which we got, so here we are summing it, and then we are adding here, and then so here we are passing the word value and then constant value. So here these are the list of consecutive or subsequent operation which are going to be performed on the value which are stored in the 8 register with respect to this 64-bit word value, right? Because so here we have uh, 8 registers, so here we are processing as a 64-bit plain text as a sub block. Okay, any queries regarding this SHA1 explanation part? that is more important, MD5 as well as SHA1. If you have any queries regarding this MD5 as well as SHA1 algorithm, I'll be happy to explain it again, or I'll be happy to solve your queries if you have any. Any queries regarding this explanation part? If no more queries, then I'll move to the next topic. I hope the shared screen is visible, which is based on the topic, which is message authentication code and hash message authentication code. Is the presentation screen visible? Okay. So in this session, we'll be covering the remaining part of the third chapter, which is no related with the hash code or hash functions, right? Though we have discussed the definitions or the basics of message authentication code, and then we'll detailedly discuss with the hash message authentication code as well as the cipher message authentication code in this session. Okay. So when we talk about the message authentication code, right? So what is the problem with the message authentication is that message authentication is concerned with protecting the integrity of the message as well as validating the identity of the originator. So we all knowing about what is this integrity. Integrity stands for if sender is sending any messages, that has to be delivered to the receiver without any modification. It has to be delivered 100% as it is, right? Without any modification, changes, delay, any attack or any interrupt, right? Or any replay, right? So this is an integrity as well as, so this needs to ensure that whether the message is coming from an authenticated users identity of the originator. So this again stands for an authentication, right? So far we discussed about an authentications, different hash code functions or hash functions through which we created a hash code, right? The hash code, what is the purpose of the hash code? Anyone can quickly write in the chat box what is the or what was the purpose of hash code which we discussed so far using MD5 algorithm as well as SHA1, SHA512. Others, what is the use of hash code? Amza, what is the use of hash code? Am I audible? I hope I am audible. Yes, Amza, tell me the answer. Others, what is the use of hash code? Amza, are you sleeping? I'm waiting for your answers, Adesh and Amza. All of you turn on your camera. If you are not turning on your camera, I'll remove you from the meeting. I'll inform the other faculties to mark the absent for throughout the week. All of you turn on your camera. Fast. All of you turn on your camera. I'm going to remove now whose camera is not turned on. If further you will not be able to attend any of my lecture. Okay, Uzaifa Ariwala, I am removing you. Raki Lagdar, Atiya Chaudhary, Uzaifa, Asif Lohar, Adnan Sheikh, Imran Khan, turn on your camera. I'll not repeat. जिनका कैमरा ऑन नहीं है उनको मैं अभी रिमूव कर रहा हूँ, irrespective whether